Hey guys, welcome back to another Creative Shock video. Today I am bringing you a tier list for the Boston ASCENT. What I'll be doing is I'll be going through each list I think is probably a viable list to take to Boston and what my thoughts are on it and where it will kind of sit in the tournament and I guess in the next part of the meta. Alright, so I'm going to start. This was randomly put in a random order, so we'll just start from the top and we'll go through. It's given me Water Diana, the new Water Aquamarage Diana list. I'm going to put that in. Ooh, I haven't actually thought about this too much. I'll put it in Losing Ground. I'm going to change Losing Ground in not competitive 5. Cool. So Aquamarage Diana is it's a fun deck. It's a deck that can do a lot of damage, but in current meta with Verucan Acolytes, Unbroken Mustangs, a lot of cards like Star Wars Shieldmates and stuff like that, it's quite hard to, I guess, get moving momentum-wise. It's also very hard to compete with like a Ryle deck that, is obviously drawing a lot of cards and getting to level 3 quite quickly. Obviously, there could be a list that makes it quite strong, but for now, it's not very competitive. It kind of falls behind. It hasn't had any good tops in any events or anything so far. Cool. Moving on to Sylvie Slime Sovereign. There was a Sylvie that topped at Quicksilver Cup. I will put it in mid. I do feel as though there are decks that are just faster than it. It is something that kind of can get people off guard if they haven't versed Sylvie before, a Slime Sylvie. And on top of that, Storm Slimes do a lot of damage, and there's like Covenant of Thorns, etc., etc. A lot of things that like people who haven't seen Slimes for a while can get caught off guard. I'm not going to put in hot right now, Boston top 8 worthy, for the sole reason that there are other decks in Fire currently that are faster than it and will do more damage than Sylvie can handle. So I think mid is fine. It can be played. Like a really good high roll or a really good player can make day 2 with it, but I don't think we will see it competitively at like the top tables. Cool. This is Suited. So I was using an app that I used that make these images, and they haven't got the new update images, so I had to make my own images. So this is the Fire Suited Lorraine, Fire Suited Xander, whatever. I am going to put it in hot right now. This deck is when it's good, it's very good. When it draws bad, it's very bad, but it is quite tempo pushing. There's a lot of damage that comes from it. It's it's like a Philo kind of damage push where if you don't deal with the board early, it can just blow you up. And there is a lot of decks currently in the meta where they don't really do much early. So if they don't deal with the suited allies early, they will be punished. And these suited decks, I always seem to see like 1 or 2 suited decks at top tables, and they always seem to be sneaking in a day 2. So it is a hot right now deck. I don't think it is Boston top 8 worthy. I think that people who know how to hard level or know how to side will take out the suited allies with day 2. I do think it is a day 2able deck, 100%. Next up is Razorgale Kongming. Now, I have been seeing this slowly float in, but I don't think it is amazing. It's good, and it's still playable, and it can be competitive, but it is something that, with the current situation, it just doesn't have enough defense, especially with a lot of decks bringing Nullifying Mirror in sideboard for Luxem Xander. It kind of hurts Razorgale Kongming as well, because they're able to Nullify Mirror the Veiling Breezes and stuff, which kind of turns off the defenses for Razorgale Kongming. And that is something that wasn't even in there for it, but it's like a collateral damage thing. I think that a high roll like double Razorgale or like a Kongming that is maybe built to deal with a Ryle deck, so it's got like Cleansing of Reunions, or it's got like Raccoons or whatever. If there's a way that they can kind of slow it down, I guess they can run Censor as well. I think this could be a good deck, and it could be like a semi-dark horse. I don't think it's hot right now though. I think that it will be above the Sylvie because it can perform, but I don't think there's gonna be like 20 of them that pop off at Boston. Now we're going to Burst Asunder. This was the boogeyman of last season. Water Fractals was very, very strong. I do think Water Fractals is still strong. I just feel as though it kind of lost its pace. Kind of hard to, I guess, push as much as you could, and especially with the cards like Regal and people going straight to level 3, a lot of null spells in sideboard and mainboard right now. I think that it hurts it a lot. It could have been here, but current meta hurts it a fair bit, although it's still performing. So we'll put it here. We'll put it here in front of the Razor Gale, because I think that it's still better than these two, but it's not hot right now. Cool. All right, we have a Serene Fire Eye. Now, they've been popping up here and there. It's a deck that a certain few players play, like Huka and stuff. They'll play a lot of Rye and they'll perform. I don't think it's because the deck's good. I think it's because the player has piloted Rye well and they've played Rye for a long time. When someone has played a deck for a long time and they know the ins and outs, they can kind of easily choose flexible meta picks for their deck and still make it work. So this will be a hot take maybe, but I think it's not competitive, but with the disclaimer that it is not competitive for people that haven't played it before. I think that like a player like Huka or something could pick a meta slot or like pick good meta picks in the flex spots and could like day 2. But from the overall population, I wouldn't be bringing it, and I think it is not competitive. Cool. All right. Water Allies. Water Allies is a scary deck. It was a deck that has been floating in. It just recently won the 250 player Malaysian regionals. 602 double ID'd in the end, so it won 6 in a row. Or maybe it drew the second last round, but anyway. Water Allies is very good because it's able to control tempo with like Frostbind, Song of Frost, etc. It's also able to do a lot of damage, and it does deal with the fire aggro. It's quite good into the fire aggro. The test of time will be if it is good into these level 3 decks that are rushing. But I do think that it is a heavy contender. I do think it beats suited. I do think it beats a lot of decks. I will put... Oh, this is a hard one. It's like I nearly want to put it here, but I feel like if you put it here, it's like crazy, right? And there's like probably a lot of decks that can deal with it, but with so much end souls in the meta and so much like Luxem's a bad matchup normally, I guess. Luxem's the problem. The rest isn't that bad. For now, let's actually put it there. Let's put it in Boston top 8 worthy, because I do think that it is a very strong deck that's being slept on and maybe not slept on anymore. And it has a lot of good matchups in the current meta. We'll move it later, maybe. We'll see. Next up is Wind Turbo Dragon. Also been floating into the meta. There's a lot of, obviously, level 3 decks that aren't really doing much. Also, in regards to aggro, they're running Resolute's main now. Once the Dragon comes out, they have a Taunt. They are running Cleansing Reunion's main board as well. So they're able to deal with the Rile package. They're also able to run Censor because they're not using Float. Wind Dragon is a good deck. It is good into most of the meta. It is good into, I would say it's decent into Luxem. I mean, Incap's a thing, but it's not bad into it. I think it's good into Ensol with the Resolutes as well. I'm going to put it in hot right now. I think this is going to be, you're going to see a lot of it. Maybe not in Boston, but in the next meta shift, I think there'll be a lot of players playing in regionals and store champs. So I'm happy to put it here. Probably not as hot as suited, a lot of suited players right now, but I think it's fine to be there. Cool. All right, we have the Umbra Seal that Rain has been playing. It's the one with Siphoning Fractals and the Vortex. There has been good performances in Yeti, and there has been good performances in... I think there was some performances in Store Champs as well. So I do feel like this is one of the main ways you can play Seal. I don't think it's Boston top 8 worthy. I think that it's kind of rough into Luxem. It's also rough into, I guess, like if you get out-riled. Also rough into Tristan. So I think that I'm happy to put it in mid, but up here. I do think it's better than these decks. I mean, I think that, I guess it's better than that as well. I just don't think it's hot right now. I think there's like a few people playing it, but not many. We have Wind Arasana. Wind Arasana feels bad. Polaris hit really hurts, especially in a meta where there's lots of aggro. And now with Water Allies coming in, it makes it even worse because now the Polaris costs 1. It's even harder to deal with. It's harder to bring out, sorry, not to deal with. And more chances to be Frostbinded. Don't take it to locals. Wind Arasana is currently bad and needs to be... Yeah, it's just in a bad spot. Just chill on it for now. Advent Seal. It is a deck I made. I'm going to try not to be biased. We are going to put it right next to where the other seal is. I think slightly in front, maybe. I'm happy to put it there because I feel like I'm not being biased otherwise. Advent Seal is good. It's not a meta pick, but it is something that can perform and something that people aren't prepared for currently. But as we go along, people will become more prepared. It is good into everything but kind of Luxem and Tristan pretty much, and Merlin's a flip, I guess. Ensol's a flip, so it's not a heavy favorite. It's not like a hot right now or Boston top 8 worthy, but I do think that it can sneak a day 2 and potentially even like sneak a top. I don't know. I don't think it can sneak top 8, but it can sneak a day 2 100% and get a good placing. Water Genbu. This was the other boogeyman last set, so it was up here and it was OP as fuck and everyone was complaining about it. Lost of Thought got banned and we went into an aggro meta and a fast rail meta, which kind of made it fall down. But it has been showing appearances a little bit in store champs and regionals, so it is still alive. Lost of Thought didn't hurt it as much as what people think. I think people just do want to play with the new shiny toys a little bit. I think Genbu, I wouldn't say it's hot right now. Like there's not a million people playing it, but it is seeing results and there is a few people playing in every event. So I think I'll put it at the top of mid. I think it could be here potentially, but I think that just the sheer will of like, I guess, aggro kind of in the meta is making it a bit harder to play, especially they can't get Genbu out fast enough. All right, we go into Serene Fire Djinn. This is a interesting deck. This is a deck. I'm gonna have a hot take here. You guys are gonna go crazy. I think Djinn is Boston top 8 worthy. It's not hot. It's not hot right now, right? Don't get me wrong. It probably can be here, but I think it can make top 8. I think that with not much water in the meta, other than they have to dodge this deck, I think that it is good into a lot of these other decks. It's good into the aggro, into the allies. It's able to, with the amount of hand size it has now, it's able to do a lot of cool things. It is something that just won I think it won a store champs, it top 16 to regionals. These are very early deck lists of it as well, though. It's either like, I feel like it could be like here is like a safe play, but I think I want to put it here. I think there'll be a Djinn at top 8, and I just have a feeling that it is stronger than people understand so far. The sole reason that there's so many X-tier cards that are very strong. I don't think it obviously is in front of this deck. This deck is quite strong. And I think this deck beats this deck. This deck also beats more of the meta than this deck does. Because if you don't see your cards, then you get out-riled. It is what it is. KFC, Suzaku, James List, I think is a good contender to be top 8. It is a very strong aggro deck. It is able to turn 2, is able to kill very easily. If not respected, if it gets like, if you back up charger or you just don't, I guess, see stuff, you can just die turn 2. Also it is like a mid-rangey deck where you're able to kind of build influence and kind of not run out of gas straight away. So I think that this is one of the best decks in the current meta, although the meta is shifting into it to try and beat it. For example, the Serene Djinns and the Serene Seals, etc. But it is still the deck to beat currently. This is the deck to beat. And along with that is the Philo. I think Philo goes hot right now, though. I think it sits just in front of the suited. The Philo is very strong. It's doing some really good placements. There's been a lot in top 8s and a lot in top 16s. Very scary deck, a lot of damage. I think it's actually good into KFC which is great. It's hot right now. I don't think I'm going to put it here just because I think that there's only going to be like maybe one aggro at top 8. So I don't think that it can fit there, but I think it is hot right now and there'll be a lot of aggro fire around at Boston. Ensol is very hot right now. I think I'm nearly willing to put it here. Just the sheer speed of it and the linear pace is like, if you're able to high roll, you are pretty much nearly unstoppable. People are having to play around your game most of the time. They are also putting Serene in the deck now, even sideboard. So they're trying to deal with the aggro, although aggro is actually not a bad matchup for them. It's favored into Suzaku because of the flame sweeps and stuff like that. I think it is, there's been like an Ensol in every top 8 so far. So I think I'm happy to put one in top 8 as well. This depends on like the flexibility and the tool set that they bring, but I think I'm happy to put it here. That's fine. Although this ruins it, by the way. Every time I'm putting a deck in here, I'm like, this ruins it. It's like this deck actually beats all 3 of these decks, which is crazy. But yeah, I think that there won't be enough water allies for Ensol to be completely knocked out. I think it's one we'll get through. Wake Up Wind Lorraine. This is the Mad Hatter deck. Freedom from Taiwan, I believe. Sorry if I'm wrong if it's Malaysia. He has been piloting it really well. He won the Taiwan webcam regionals that I played. He also top 8'd another real life event with the same deck. Look, I think it's a good deck. It's very high rolly, but the fact that it is able to just turn to kill and it's got like no really interaction sometimes when you draw well, I think it is hot right now, and I think there will be a fair few of them around. I don't think it makes top 8. I think day 2 it's a weaker deck. Once people know what you're playing, they're able to kind of play around it a lot easier by holding like Star War. Like when you sideboard Crystallized Destiny and this deck falls down really badly, I'm happy to put it in hot right now because people will be playing it, but I don't think it's top 8 worthy. I think that it will, day 2, people will see it and they'll Crystallize Destiny or they'll spell the second wind and then it will kind of lose. It's a very high rolly deck. Merlin. Now Merlin's an interesting one. People came into this set thinking Merlin was going to be OP and level 3 package, it was Crux cards, like everyone was really excited to jump on Merlin. Merlin seems to feel like the slower Rile deck somehow. It sounds weird, right? Because like they are very fast and you know they gain level counters, but it seems like there's some Rile decks that don't need to wait for level counters. They just get to 3 and can do a lot of damage. It is a hot deck, don't get me wrong, and there has been some good placements with it, but I don't think it makes top 8. I think that it loses to the Ensoul, loses to the Water Allies, it gets smashed by the Suzaku. I think it's not great into aggro as well. I think we put it like around here. I think it's hot right now, and there'll still be some, and there'll be a lot on day 2, but it is not as like commanding as what like a KFC is or what like Ensoul has been. It hasn't been commanding its like results as well as we thought it would. So, all right, Wind Shadow Tristan. This is an interesting one. So, us on the Crave Shot guys, we went through all of the events on the weekend. There is at least one Wind Shadow Strike Tristan in every top 8. So there's always someone guesses the right toolbox, right? And it's a toolbox deck. So once you guess the right toolbox, it performs quite well. I think there will be a Wind Tristan in top 8. I think that they're now running Cleansing Reunion main board. Sensor obviously helps as well. They have the Sadie, they have the allies to deal with aggro, quite favored into aggro. And then they have the Incap. Incaps, like if I had an Incap card here, Incap would be like above this because Incap is the best card. So Wind Tristan comes up, although interesting enough, Wind Tristan's bad into this, good into this, good into this, good into this. So it's actually got some good matchups here. I will put it there. I think that's where I want to put it. And this is not like hot right now. It's not 100 people on Tristan, but there's like 5 or 6 players in each event, and one of them pops off and gets in top 8 every time. So happy to put this here. Obviously, we can come back to this video after Boston and see how close I was to the Boston top 8. But I think so far so good, to be honest. All right, this is the Wind Slice and Dice Tristan. Wind Slice and Dice Tristan. It feels slower than aggro or mid-range. The aggro mid-range decks that have Ryle seem to just be faster than it because they're kind of getting fire on the drop and they're rending and they're fiery momentuming and they're like kindling. So it kind of is struggling a little bit in regards to that, making them play defensively instead of being able to slice and dice. Not to mention all the Resolutes main board because of aggro and all of the Crystallized Destinies making slice and dice worse as well. I'm happy to put it in mid because it is still playable and you still can perform, but I don't think it is good enough to be competitive, or I guess do really well. It can day 2, sure, but you're not going to see many of these and you're not going to see them in top 8. All right, Serene, Luxem, Xander. This is the annoying deck so far this set. It feels like Ryle has made Serene, Luxem, Xander the strongest Ryle deck in my opinion so far. Obviously that can change and people are testing differently, but the Luxem Xanders I've been playing very strong, draw a lot of cards, heal a lot, put your cards down, deal 40 damage. They're able to deal damage turn 3 and 4 in regards to like a Striking Luminous Lightweaver's Assault. They lose to the aggro, but they can fix that matchup if they really want to be honest. Like that matchup, they can run Banish from Sight. And if the aggro players aren't running like Exposed Darkness or whatever, then they kind of just lose the matchup. They can also run Resolutes, and they can also just get to level 3 and heal. I do think Luxem Xander is the... I'm going to say it's the #1 contender. Do I think it's going to win Boston? No. Do I think it's going to top 8 Boston? 100%. I think, well, at least one will top 8 Boston. Where do I want to put it here, though? I guess, I mean, maybe I'm biased because I hate the deck so much, but I think it is very strong. I'm just trying to think, like, what beats it in here. Like, nothing. Beats this, beats this. I don't know how this matchup beats this, beats this matchup's like iffy, but it depends on how they build it. Let's go. We'll go like that. We'll put Luxem first for now. I think that is fine. And then our last one is Aggro Fire Xander. Now, with KFC and Philo around, they're doing a lot more damage faster than what Fire Xander is. Fire Xander kind of needed to get the Quicksilver Grail or the Poison Dagger out turn 2, and then they'd pop off turn 3. But with these like turn 2 decks, if you are to turn 1 materialize an Arthur Arrested, a Clumsy, whatever you want to do, and then you just take 10 damage, you just can't get Poison Dagger out. And because you can't get Poison Dagger out, you have to level up. Your whole game plan is ruined. Your damage is gone unless you don't play Poison Dagger. But it's like the whole point of playing Fire Xander is to play the Poison Dagger. Don't get me wrong, this is performing here and there, but I think that like in regards to where the meta's moving and where we're at, I think it's the worst aggro deck. Like, it's even slower than this Wake Up Lorraine. The Wake Up Lorraine is just killing you turn 2, turn 3 as well. And like they can just deal with this as well. They have Zephyrs, I'm pretty sure. So like I actually think that it is mid. I wouldn't say not competitive. I think it is competitive, but I think it's mid. And I think it's quite mid. I think it's like just in front of the Tristan, maybe, when Slicing does Tristan. Because it still can run Ryle and it can do stuff. So yeah, I think that, let me have a look at this. I mean, I don't mind this so far. So yeah, unplayable, not competitive, 100% agree. Mid decks, yep. I don't think this has to be this low though. It did day 2 an event. So like, let's move this up. Let's move this up. Let's go like here. So yeah, yep. I don't mind this here. We could even go like this actually, sadly. Yep. It's not hot right now. I wish I didn't use the words hot right now and it were like decent, but it's fine. I think it's fine here. That's fine. Dragon could be a good pick. Wake Up Lorraine can be good if you high roll. Merlin's always a good pick if you can run hot. Suited feels good. Philo feels good. This is my hot take that like I've only seen a few events with it, but it is, I think, a strong contender. And there's some cards in there that which is quite strong. I think this is better. I don't think so. And Ensol's great. Windshow Strike Tristan's great. Water Allies is terrifying. KFC, very strong. And then Luxem at top. I think I'm happy with that tier list, guys. And obviously, like last time, if you have any problems or you have anything to say, feel free to comment below or message me. If you're unhappy, obviously it won't change. But, you know, it's always good to have some fun and make these tier lists to not only see what I guess I see meta-wise, and also to see, you know, if you think the same, or if you're running a certain deck, this might even help you pick a deck for Boston. DMs are always open, by the way. If anyone needs advice, feel free to always message me. I'm happy to help people always in regards to preparations and decks. Just don't send me a deck list and go, what do you think of this? Because I don't have time to like go and like read through a whole deck list myself and give you a full advice like that. All right, well, that's it for today, guys. Nice and quick one. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next video.